Just checking in after a long weekend of having no internet. I unfortunately, well, actually not unfortunately, but I live, as I've said a million times, out in a very rural area, and there are two public campgrounds right around the corner from me. So what happens is, as you all know, internet connection in rural areas is shitty to begin with. But then what happens is you have, like, during the summertime when the campgrounds are open and holidays and whatnot, you get like 100 campers times however many people they have in their party, that many cell phones, and they're all trying to connect to our one little tower we have out here that they have blessed us with. So what happens is Verizon, when they see that the traffic has picked up, Verizon, hey Frank, how are you? Verizon rolls back the out of, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, they roll it back. So you've got, I'm doing good. It's been a long weekend. That's what I was just saying. I've had no internet all weekend, Frank. And that's what I was explaining, was that because I already live in a rural area to begin with, we got one measly cell tower out here. And there's two Army Corps of Engineer public campgrounds, and that are on each side of me. You go to the end of the road, and one's on, hey Darkness Exposed, how are you? So there's two public campgrounds, and what happens is on the weekends during the summer and holidays is you get in, these places are packed. You get in 100 campers plus however many people are in their party equals how many cell phones are trying to connect to the same freaking tower. Well, what Verizon does is when they see the traffic, do you watch the RV YouTubers? I think I do. I think I have them on my personal channel. But so you get all these people trying to connect to the same tower, and what Verizon does is, oh, okay, well, that's cool. If you have their link, Darkness, drop it in here. I want to say I am subscribed to them on my personal channel, but I have started, hey Arctic, how are you? Started subscribing to, since I stay on this channel most of the time, I've started subscribing to a few other of the people that I subscribe to on my personal channel. But anyway, Verizon rolls it back, and everybody hogs up the internet connection, and it's just, it's like the Titanic. You got however many lifeboats and too many passengers. Well, So I've had zero internet all weekend long. And so I wanted to just check in and see what I've missed. I think it started coming back yesterday. My internet started coming back yesterday. So I started looking around on YouTube and everything to see what I had. Yeah, exactly. It sucks. I couldn't text. One of the actually, hey, checking convictions, one of the text messages that I sent you, Fox, didn't even go through. When I texted you and told you about that you wouldn't see me all weekend, actually one of the texts that I sent you didn't even go through. I couldn't text message nobody. I what do you do about big tech? You know, what's little old poor me gonna do about big tech Verizon? Threaten to discontinue my phone with them. Really? I just think it's shitty what they do. And, it's not fair, really. I don't think it's fair to us who live out here. And then you get all these damn lake travelers, lake campers in here. And, like, damn, aren't y'all supposed to be spending time with your family? Get off the phone. But I was checking around last night to kind of see what I'd missed out on, and looks like I didn't miss out on too much except a bunch of drama. So, oh, you sent me one back that didn't go through either. See, it's frustrating, and it costs a fortune to get Wi-Fi out here. You have to either go through this new fiber optic stuff with the light company, or you have to go through through a satellite company, and they want $500 to talk to you. And that fiber optic stuff is like $130 a month. And it's insane. So I do the best I can with what I got. But I was looking around to see what you fold them clothes, because I ain't folding them, checking convictions. I ain't folding. I live out of a laundry basket, okay? Yeah, it's expensive. I mean, I could get it for $40 a month through Falcon Cable, but when you're in a gang for it. So, but I was just catching up on everything last night, and wanted to talk about a few things. Arctic Fox, our fellow Arkansan, is getting shipped to Texas. Seagoville, Texas. That's where they're sending Joshy Poo to. Because they have a really good sex offender program there. So he won't be staying with us here in Arkansas at our federal prison. Rob, what? I don't understand what you mean, Frank. Well, I mean, I'm sorry if there's any kind of issues between other creators. I don't know what to say about that. Just that, you've been one of my big supporters, Frank, and so, you know, just whoever it is that you don't like, just block them. I mean, that's all I know to say. I understand that some people, don't get along or whatever, because I don't want anybody to leave. Um, but yeah, they're sending Joshy Poo to Texas. So this is none. Hey Lisa, how are you? Thank you for checking in on me, Lisa. That means a lot to me. It really does. Just for somebody to send me a message and say, "Hey, you all right? How you doing?" That's more than my damn kids do half the time. Um, I had also planned to do a live about the Uvalde shooting. And, oh, okay. Okay, I don't have any clue about any of that stuff. So please don't hold it against me. Um, and I was going to talk about the Uvalde shooting and my thoughts on it. And we were on Darkness Exposed channel watching the press conference, and then President Joe Biden came out to speak and everything, and uh, he, of course, addressed the people of Uvalde, and then he just had to do it. He just had to bring up gun laws. Then later on, I was watching a video with Dan Bongino and Geraldo Rivera, and they were on Sean Hannity, and they were fighting and arguing. Dan Bongino and Geraldo Rivera, which they don't like each other anyway, and they don't get along either. They were arguing, and I mean, if they'd have been in the same room together, I think Dan Bongino would have slapped the shit out of Geraldo Rivera and told him to shut the fuck up, because he did tell him to shut the fuck up basically on Sean Hannity's show. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. Yes, we need to talk about gun laws. Yes, we need to talk about a lot of shit. But I just thought, this is so ridiculous. These people are going through the most unimaginable pain and anger. I'm here. See, I started talking about politics and it started shutting off. Right. I just thought to myself, these people are going through the most unimaginable pain and anguish. And no amount of Monday morning quarterbacking, no legislation or law or police protocol or school protocol or mental health help that could be changed today is going to fix what happened yesterday. And I just felt like I just felt like all I want to do is just love these people right now. You know, I I wish I were down there. You know, I wish I had the ability to go down there, or, you know, or lived closer, and just do something for someone, whether make a casserole, or just anything. It's just, I felt so awful. Like there is nothing that I can say. There's nothing I can change. There's nothing that anybody can do today that can fix what happened yesterday. And right now, I mean, I just feel like these people need to be loved. And, you know, if you live near there, you know, go by and mow somebody's yard, or make a casserole, take some food. You know, that's the kind of stuff that we did back in the day. Yes, we need to talk about all this. I know, believe me, I know. It's got to be talked about, and it's got to be addressed, and seriously addressed. You know, we've had school shootings going on since the 90s, and it's increasing. It's not decreasing, it's increasing. And then you've got the mass shootings, where people just go into a public place and start killing people. The Jason Aldean concert in Vegas, Pulse nightclub in Florida, Travis Ryan King in the Waffle House. You know, some shit's got to seriously be addressed. I just felt like I just did not want to kick these people when they're down, so to speak, because I can't imagine what they're going through. I can't imagine, you know, those innocent children. I mean, this will never make sense. What this guy did will never make any kind of sense. To go shoot innocent children that you don't even know, that have not done a damn thing to you. Why? Why? Because you were bullied? Because people make fun of you? Because what? You know, why? I was bullied in school. And I went to school with a bunch of fucking rednecks that had gun racks in their windows of their truck full of shotguns loaded, and the trucks were unlocked. Do you think any of us ever thought about shooting each other? No, never. And now our elementary schools look like prisons. It broke my heart when I took my youngest daughter, Shaughnessy, to her elementary school, which is the same elementary school that I went to, for her senior breakfast, to eat breakfast with her teachers. And I was taking her picture under the sign and everything, and I happened to look into the foyer, And it looks like the visitation you have to go through to get into Cummins prison. I shit you not. And you grew up the same way. Exactly. I mean, we had some locker bashings. You know, we fought out in the woods in somebody's yard or whatever. But and the scary thing is about it all is you don't know when something like this is going to happen. However, in several of these cases, all the mental health signs were there, and no one paid attention. I mean, this guy, Salvador, was messaging and Instagramming and strangers, people he didn't even know, tagging people in his pictures of the guns and stuff that he bought. Hello, child. I was just talking about you. Was your ears ringing? But I don't know what it's going to take to stop all this, because it kills me, as I was saying, to see my daughter's elementary school turned into a prison. Oh, I know. And I'm against that, Arctic. I do not think that arming teachers with guns or coaches or principals or any of that stuff, yeah, things were different then. But no, arming teachers, no, I'm totally against that. I'm fine with metal detectors, I guess, and you know, scanners, and you got to show a school ID or something to get in the door or whatever. But I mean, we can't go back to the Wild West. We can't. And I'm not against gun rights. I'm not against the Second Amendment. I'm not, none of that. I grew up my whole life in Arkansas. But we can't live like this. We can't, our kids can't live like this. Oh, they went through the see-through backpacks years ago. And then they kind of phased out. Shaughnessy's backpack weighed so dadgum much. I know that some bitch had to weigh about 75 pounds. There he goes. It's just, you know, I mean, like I said, we can't live like this, but we're going to have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and because this just didn't happen overnight. This has been, I've watched this like the decline of humanity since the days, as I was speaking of, when I went to high school and there were guns all over the parking lot and nobody would have ever thought about shooting anybody, to now, you know, and it's not one thing, it is just the decline in humanity that I've feel like I have sat and watched. And there's just been a lot of little things thrown in. You throw it all in one pot and you got a disaster is what you got. And I don't have the answers of how we go back, how we change it, what we do. Yes, we need better mental health care. Rehab costs a lot of money. I mean, I've never been to rehab, but I've heard that rehab costs a pretty penny for people, with drug and alcohol addictions. Everybody should have the opportunity and have the ability to get rehab help. Everybody should have the ability to get mental health help. But, you've got so many people out here, and when you're 18 and older, you can't force someone to get mental health help. You can't force someone to take medication. And that is one of the problems that families run into. Something's wrong with my sound. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, good. It it's psychiatrists, that those things cost money. And when you have so many people that don't have insurance, I don't think anybody should be deprived of things like getting help for drug and alcohol addiction, mental health issues, things like that. Because those are three of the biggest problems in the entire world is drug and alcohol addiction and mental health issues. So, yeah, we need help with this kind of stuff. And we've got to get serious about this gun law stuff. And does it keep going off every time I say gun laws? In the NRA or something? But anyway, this gun law issue, and quit fighting over, oh, you're trying to take our guns away. Oh, it's not guns that kill people, it's people that kill people. And I'm so tired of this fussing and fighting back and forth to be alpha dog. We got to meet at the fence and get serious, because we have to evolve with the times. And the AR-15 is the new weapon of choice for these mass shootings and school shootings and whatnot. And no one under the age of 21 needs one. Period. I don't give a shit who gets mad at me or not. Unless you're in the fucking military, you don't I swear I think the owner of YouTube is NRA. I'm not against you people. um, I'm sorry. Keep going. I recall correctly, isn't that so? We've had this issue for irritating. What do you need to kill with an AR-15 besides people? Can somebody answer me that? I mean, are you hunting elephants? Or what? Wild boar? We're gonna have to just get with the times and and start doing, you know, I think we can definitely start with this AR-15 stuff, with it, like I said, being the weapon of choice. Ethan Crumley used a handgun, 15 years old. His parents bought him that gun. You know, can't be having that shit either. I'm sorry, but your 15-year-old does not need a 9mm. Plain and simple. If you live in the South, if you go deer hunting or squirrel hunting or coon hunting or whatever, you know, little rifle, shotgun, whatever. But to go around, and that's it. So, you know, this is going to have to be addressed. And I want to get off this subject because it seems like I've lost all my viewers. Everybody left me. I wanted to talk a minute about the Summer Wells case. One thing I noticed, just kind of checking in to see what I had missed all weekend, was a lot of gossip and drama. And it all seems to be, oh well. I mean, you know, I don't want anybody to be mad at me for how I personally, you know, feel about this whole Uvalde thing. I'm in no way damning anyone for talking about these issues right off the bat. I just felt like that it wasn't the time and place just yet to talk about it. Not that it doesn't need to be talked about, it just didn't seem like the right time for, you know, for me personally. So, but I'm not begrudging anybody who has talked about it. And I've ended up now talking about it myself. So there. Seems like all the focus now in the Summer Wells case has turned to Jody Sue. I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents on Jody Sue. I tried to listen to her. I couldn't get through 2 minutes of listening to her. I have no patience to sit and listen to a bunch of incoherent rambling for hours upon hours. Hello, Terry Rice. And they don't even want me. Um, I mean, if you can sit through more than 5 minutes of Jody Sue Brown talking, then kudos to you. Like, high five. I ain't got the patience for it. So I have never listened to when all this happened. You know, I saw her interview with on the news, and it was a bit alarming to me. Oh, me neither. I ain't got the patience for it. And them damn 7-8 hour lives. It, it, I don't have the patience for it. I can't understand her either. And she, especially, I don't know if she's on medication or whatnot that makes her, because sometimes she sounds like normal talking, and then other times she's just, and well, you know, back when said this, you know, you don't understand a damn word she says. But I mean, my 2 cents on Jody Sue is that I have felt like from the beginning that she knew something. Oh, yeah. I have felt like she knew something um, just by the way she acted in that um, interview with the news that she did. Um, and, you know, the way she's looking around and she's crying and whatnot. And then there's been a couple of people who have made other creators who have made clip videos of something that they don't. They don't. Um, that and there's been some things that she has said that was a bit alarming and a bit peculiar. But my honest 2 cents worth is about Jody Sue Brown is he helped the Summer Wells case as much as his own fucking parents have. She is no better than Candus. She is just as bad as Candus. Now, you know, yes, she has health problems. Yes, she's a violent survivor and all that. That none of her personal problems are an excuse for her and what she's done. I feel that she has done nothing. Mixing misery and gin, sitting with all my friends and talking to myself. I act like I'm having a good time, but any fool like hell. But as Benny Keys so uh, gracefully put it, what is Jody Sue's claim to fame? She lives across the street from Candus and Don Wells. Woohoo! Trying to sell the shirt she was supposedly wearing hunting for summer. That's sickening. I mean, just, oh, yeah. But that's just, I honestly, I don't know why anybody pays her any attention. She's the mayor of Beach Creek. She acts like she is. But she just, I noticed that all weekend long that it seems like now that Candus has dropped out of the spotlight, um, it's all the focus is on Jody Sue and what she's saying, and unless she knows what happened to Summer, I don't give a shit what she has to say. That's just my personal opinion. I think that she has milked this child's worse than anybody has. And she's no better than Candus. She's no better than any YouTube creators that she will talk shit about, saying, oh, you people, one of them has brought one fact to nothing. Nothing. And something else that I was going to mention is that y'all know about this woman, Michelle, I think her name's Michelle. She went on panel with Ziggy and told her that Ronnie Lawson had mentioned to her that ask these YouTubers what Candus was doing those 4 hours she can't count for. And yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing. And it's getting old, yeah. But I've wondered, okay, I got you, chicken. I have, wondered about that, and I don't know that woman. I'm not going to accuse her of lying. I'm not going to say the conversation didn't happen. At first, I kind of thought, I had two different responses to it. And one of my responses to it made me think, I think Ronnie Lawson might be trying to use YouTube creators to manipulate Candus. Because if you remember, when he came out and he said, when they did that sudden search a couple months ago, and he did that interview, and he says they're no longer cooperating, they have attorneys, and da 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 da, and then which pissed Grandis off, and she goes on the news and says, we ain't got no attorneys, I don't know what he's talking about. I think maybe he is trying to use the YouTube community. Lisa, I have heard and seen some little comments here and there that she's staying with a friend. That's all I know. I know she has, I know Benny has cut all ties with her. Ernie has cut all ties with her. I don't think she's speaking to anybody now. Everybody's just rumor that Dawn told her to leave the property. I guess maybe after she stuff back. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I pay the bills there. So with Dawn jail and she don't work, so but here's the thing. We know nothing new about Summer's disappearance that we didn't know on June 15th of 2021. Absolutely nothing. And the thing is that they've got the information from the, they've got the information from the phones, and they've got the text messages, and they've got the 911 calls, and the exact, and if they did their investigation properly, they went to all the businesses that they stopped at and got receipts and video and timestamps and stuff that can account for everything up until they dropped Hunter back off at home and they went home. And I think that's the 4 hours that Ronnie Lawson's referring to, is after Hunter gets dropped off to the time when 911 gets called. I don't think he believes any of her story no more than I do. And we're not privy to what the boys have said. We're not privy to the phone tech stuff and pings and text messages and who texted who and what was said, and we're not privy to any of that. So they've got even way more information than we do, and still nobody has nothing. And what I'm confused about, and I've never had my kids taken away from me. I've never had to deal with CPS. But I'm a little skeptical about and not quite understand the whole deal with Candus and Don having lawyers or not having lawyers. If she got appointed a public defender for or some kind of attorney or whatever for the CPS case with the boys, then I can't imagine that same lawyer representing her in Summer's disappearance. And I also can't imagine a lawyer, especially that one that's been appointed through a CPS case or whatever, telling her not to talk to law enforcement. Unless she's done gone and hired Stephen Bertolino. But, so I'm just having a little trouble with all this. Do they have lawyers? Do they not have lawyers? And what is really going on with that situation? I'm just not quite understanding that whole deal. Me too, Terry. I do too. And you think like, okay, like think back to the John Benet Ramsey case. The Ramseys hired attorneys. But you got to realize that Don and Candus are not John and Patsy Ramsey exactly. So I'm just confused about this whole lawyer situation, and wondering if it's just an excuse for law enforcement, for Ronnie Lawson, to give of why they have no information, why they have no new information. Because, okay, Chris McDonough started. When did Chris McDonough first interview Candus, and then he interviewed Hunter, and wasn't that like a few weeks to a month or so after Summer's disappearance? Because from the time that Chris McDonough started interviewing everyone and everything airing on YouTube and whatnot, the lies from everyone. And I just don't, okay, so like a few weeks to a month later. So these lies have been unfolding for months and months and months on end. Why in 11 months have you not taken them in, brought them up? I keep going off. Like I said, it's... But anyway, I just don't understand it. I mean, it was 3-4 days that and they drug the truth out of her. They've got all these other parents locked up in jail for, they know they had something to do with their child's disappearance. I mean, and so they've got them locked up for, just whatever they can get them locked up for. But I just don't understand why they have not been taken in and interrogated more than they have. Them, then hire somebody. I'm sure the behavior panel would be happy to come and do it. They help law enforcement just as much as parents for this shit. Because something should have been turned up by now. I think the video, it's going to be a shit show. Someone in another chat said that they got a warning to lay low or something like that as far as the vigils. I can't go to the vigils. My youngest daughter, Shaughnessy, she's coming in from Virginia Beach, and so I can't go anyway. But yeah, it's probably going to be a shit show, and somebody will end up in jail. I know, I pray for Summer and them boys too. This poor little old girl, now, and she's still alive. I wouldn't tell a living soul. I'd just keep her and just shield her away from all this crazy shit that, bless her heart, it's just, the little girl just never has had a chance, it seems like. And then everybody's just made a shit show, a shit show of her disappearance. And it's sad. No little innocent girl deserves all this crap. But yeah, I got a funny feeling somebody's gonna end up in jail, in Hawkins County Jail, sitting on a bench smoking a cigarette next to Don Wells. That's just my opinion. Yeah, you'd rather lock up YouTube creators than you would real criminals. I don't know. I learned a long time ago, you can't make law enforcement do anything they don't want to do. And I saw through Ronnie Lawson and his bullshit the very first time I ever laid eyes on him. So, Summer, I don't think she's got any better people, and that's just my opinion. I'm not talking about, like YouTube creators or sleuthers or anything, but I'm talking about the people directly involved. What I'm going to do for Summer is what I did for her birthday, which is have any of y'all ever heard of Star Maker? It's an app. It's a karaoke singing app. I've recorded over 100 covers of songs. And for Summer's birthday, you can look at my videos and see, for happy birthday, Summer. Just sing her another song from. I sang Sunshine on My Shoulders. That was one of my favorite songs when I was Summer's age. And there's some other songs that I've recorded from that era that were my favorite songs when I was Summer's age. So I think that's what I'm going to do again. I just, I want the little girl found, and, I've said it a half a dozen times, I'm not going to be here in 25 years like I have been with John Benet Ramsey and Morgan Nick. Sit here and still keep talking, what happened to Summer Wells? And until law enforcement does something, there's nothing anybody can do. And, I don't, Ronnie Lawson, if you think that she's out here telling YouTubers anything that she hasn't told you, no, she hasn't. Otherwise, somebody would have done snitched on her. And if anybody was going to get the truth out of her, I figured it would have. But they are adamant about their innocence. And I don't believe a word of it. Yeah, he is. He's full of S-H-I-T. He reminds me, one of the things, what I can't stand about him is that he reminds me of one of our old sheriffs, one that I dealt with, and did everything humanly possible to get rid of. And he's a good old boy. I mean, the only other sheriff in that town was his father, going back to what, the fucking 1800s? I mean, and that's funny, because I have actually dealt with that too, where you've got quite a few of the same family of people in law enforcement. My family was in law enforcement. My dad's side of the family, they were all in my local hometown law enforcement. And when you get, and then there were a couple of I can't remember if they were brothers or they were cousins that worked for the sheriff's department, and they both ended up in trouble for illegal shit. So, all these hometown, small town families all up in law enforcement is, it ain't gonna get you nowhere either. So, but yeah, I want Ronnie Lawson to explain to me why he has not interrogated Don and Candus on all their lies in 11 months. In 11 months' time. That's what I want to know. I call it that old hiding behind the law excuse, that they just don't want to get off their ass and do their job. And what I mean by, yeah, I've heard about that, Lisa. It could be anybody. Of course, it being so close to summer, automatically it gets, hey, True Crime and Coffee, how are you? Oh, Lord, you in our house one time, a stomach virus, and God, oh, it was awful. Oh, so tossed and cleaned, get these bugs and get the virus. That's almost as bad as getting real bugs in your house. So trying to get rid of it all. But anyway, this stuff and just kind of air my 2 cents and check in with everybody, and see what's going on, see what I've missed. Well, thank you so much for coming by, Terry. I really appreciate it, and make sure you're subscribed, and look forward to seeing you again. You have a severe you got a sunburn right now? You've been working. Oh, Lisa, have you ever known anybody that's actually allergic? My daughter is allergic to the sun. When she was a kid, she tanned just fine, but when she got a little bit older, she just started literally breaking out in hives. Like just in the length of time that she would get in the car, she just. But I never taught you how to use the sunscreen, so I guess that's my fault. Me being a bad y'all. But I just, like I said, I wanted to come on and kind of check in with everybody and see what was going on and see what I've missed. Anything I said, oh, you were with. Yeah, Maya, she just gets darker. She don't sunburn either. Um, but in no way am I uh, damning anyone that has spoke out, about the Uvalde tragedy and talked about gun laws and all that. Please do not take me the wrong way, because this is a tragedy that I don't know, but we've got to find some kind of solution to, and figure out armed teachers and guards and shit like that. I don't want that. I don't want to go back to living the Wild West days. We have to have law and order. And it's not that these school shootings and these mass shootings have these. And here we are in 2022, and it's still like I said, please do not take anything politically the wrong way. Have a great evening, and please be the change that you wish to see in this world. As Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Peace out, everyone. I love y'all. Bye.